What's the difference between a master and a student? There's a quote I've heard that says the master has failed more times than the student. Now, my thoughts on that is, well, that's all well and good, but if I have to fail on my way to becoming a master, is there some way to minimize the amount of times I need to fail? Because I don't like failing, and also I don't have all the time in the world. And I think yes. And for me, I believe the secret is to make sure that I'm learning as much as I can, not just from my failures, but learning from my successes. So I'm going to share with you the system that I use, the 3 questions I ask myself after every race, after every touch rugby league game, to make sure that I am learning everything that I can so that I can apply those to becoming a better racer and a better player, and that I can cut down the amount of mistakes I need to make on my way to becoming successful. Now, the first question I ask myself is, what didn't work? And so I look at my training, my preparation, and I look at the actual event, and I list out everything that didn't go well. Now, perhaps I was tired before the event even started, which would mean I was either overtrained or I didn't give myself enough recovery leading up to the event. And then during the event, perhaps there was an obstacle I really struggled with, or perhaps there was a mistake I kept making in the football match. I kept making a play and it just never ever worked. And so then I look at everything that did work well. Were there bits about my training that I could easily and readily see the improvement they made to my performance? Were there new things I'm working on in game, new techniques I'm applying in my races that were making things better? And then the last question I ask myself is, what am I going to change going forwards? What are the things I'm going to adapt in my training going forwards to make sure that I don't make the same mistake again? And to help do that, here are a couple of things to consider. I look at, well, what are some of the things I need to change? And those are, I can look at some of the things that didn't work well and like, well, maybe if I change this way, then perhaps it'll get me a better result. Or I look at some of the things that did work well and like, well, if I change that, can it work even better? And then I look at some of the things that I need to stop doing. And they're the things that when I look at it, I'm like, no, it's just not working and I can't think of any way that I could make it work. And then I ask myself, what do I need to keep doing? So I'm looking at primarily at the things that worked well and make sure that I've recognized the effort that I put in and the results that I got for it and commit to keeping them in my training going forwards. And then I ask myself, what do I need to start doing? And then once I've answered all those questions and gone through that process, I know how to best proceed going forwards.